Franco Trading Enterprise, still, fun papa fee. Newsflash is brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise, still, fun papa fee.
Hello there, a warm welcome back here on the show, and thanks a lot for staying with us. Versus Newsflash is proudly brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise, still phone Papa Fie. And this morning is the place we're asking you to go and grab your new phones, your accessories. If you're looking forward to grabbing some refrigerators, you can go there and get one. And also, we've got CCTV cameras that will help you monitor your homes when you're away, your shops, your offices. You need them. You need to know what's going on while you're away. And if you're looking forward to getting a television set, it's the best place to get quality, and quality is always assured, and it's all about Franco Trading Enterprise. Do call us on 0555-939311 and speak to us. Do not pick any number on social media to do business with. Of course, you can go on our social media pages, and also our website is available. It's www.francotrading.com, and you can download the Franco app on your phone. It's the Franco Trading app. It's on Google Play Store, and you're good to go. You can check out our branches and also get to know some of the prices that we have on our items that we're selling. I mean, trust me, they're affordable, they're of quality, and it's what you need. And so this morning, please do go ahead and get something for yourself, whether you want to replace it or you want to buy a new one, or you want to buy and give to someone, you want to buy for yourself. All you have to do is to just come through and you will be sorted. Franco Trading Enterprise says, still phone Papa Fee. Here on this segment, we get to find out what the newspapers are reporting on the front pages, and then we'll get into our major issue. But this morning, we're looking at the NDC manifesto. It was launched last week, just past weekend on Saturday in Winneba. And on Sunday, the NPP also had the press briefing, which, of course, has also come into the public conversation. But we're going to be looking at the particular sector that they're focusing on, which is job creation, which the NDC says that they want to do. Now, they've spoken about some policies, including the 24-hour policy, and which is one of the things that we'll be looking at. They also have the Women's Development Bank they want to put together for women. It's going to be focusing on women. We're going to look at that also as well, and a few others that they've mentioned they want to do. I'll let you know. Introduce my guest in the studio in a couple of minutes, and then we're good to go. But let's check out the front page of Daily Dispatch this morning and a few others. This one over here says, on Mohammed's 24-hour economy, will workers leave work at 10 a.m. and come to nightclubs? That's a big question mark over there. Nightclub workers are asking. And also security personnel ready to enforce a total ban on grain exports. Nitiwool says so. And a comparative look at the 2024 manifesto of the NPP and NDC, a policy showdown for Ghana's future. And it's also over here. You can read about it on the front page of the Daily Dispatch. At the back page, it says that Mohammed's 24-hour economy, the story over there, you can read about it in detail. Mohammed is running away from debate because he knows his bad record will be exposed, says Dr. Baumia. That's the back page of the Daily Dispatch. Away from that, let's get to the custodian this morning, and it says that Mahama in 24-hour economic gaffer, nightclub owners baffled over his day club proposal and a dry spell. Government embarks on 8 billion Ghana cedis to support farmers, and Brian Champon spoke on that at the press briefing. And the finance minister is supposed to be looking for 8 billion. I don't know where we're going to get that, but that's where we are right now. New era of skills development, YEA graduates 10,000 artisans, and government to use the NHF model for district housing units. And Yoko sweeps 4 awards at IAA Confab. That's also captured by the custodian newspaper. Now, the Ghanaian publisher is here this morning. It says government to adopt NHF model for housing project. Upon Nkrumah speaks on that. Now, business moguls mourn with Bechi Echamfo and Kandapa. 10,000 YE artisans graduate, and that's also on the front page of the Ghanaian Publisher this morning. APN AAI to co-host Global Africa Forum in New York, and Nana Berima Owusu, the first slums chiefs engaging in partisan politics. That's the Ghanaian Publisher today. The Accra Times is here this morning. On the front page, it says, Mohammed's pledge to Ghana, the NDC government I lead will be about you. And Speaker Bagbin champions Sports Development Commission state-of-the-art McCoy Sports Stadium in Nadowili. That's also on the front page of the Accra Times. And the Speaker of Parliament has also really been, doing a lot when it comes to sports. Just recently, they put together the speakers, the Parliament's, cap that was played between the Old Black Stars and the House of Parliament, and they actually ended up winning. So he also played in the showcased a few skills as well. So yeah, that's really a good one for the Honourable Speaker. Electro Champ gives jobs to adult youth, and GRA schools press calls, and also former Blue South PM donates motorbikes. MP donates motorbikes to NDC. That's also captured on the front page of the Accra Times today. We'll go to the ABC newspaper. It says, vote NPP to safeguard impactful initiatives in Aposenso, and the President Akufo-Addo commissioned School Junction Motorway Road project. And the 24-hour economic policy is just useless talk. They're now on told Jabs Bahama. Contractor accuses Bulsa South DCE of withholding payment of his money. That's also captured by the ABC newspaper. All right, so that pretty much will be all the front pages of the newspapers that we have today here on Newsflash. Now we'll move on to the major issues, which of course is the attention we're giving to the manifesto of the NDC, and the focus will be on creation of jobs. Let me introduce my guest in the studio this morning to help us do so. But don't forget that you can also send your thoughts, your contributions to us this morning. You can do so on our Facebook page. We're streaming live. We're going to be reading your messages. And our WhatsApp line is also active as well. So you can also send your messages over there. Let us know. Please keep it brief and stay away from anything that will be insults. We do not want to be reading insults on this show. So please do well and be brief and just contribute your opinion to it, and we'll take it from there. Thank you so much for joining us this morning here on Newsflash. Adel bin Sheikh Umar Ibrahim is here this morning representing the NDC. Adel, good morning. How are you doing, bro? Great. Everybody's fine.
Awesome. Wow, sure.
We're inside there.
No, now you're president.
Okay. Adele is also the Great Accra Youth Wing. Director of Operations, for the NDC.
You didn't let me land. You didn't let me land.
No, I didn't hear that. Let me pretend I didn't.
You know where I'm going.
Oh, yeah.
You're going anywhere.
Let me pretend I didn't hear that. Neil Owusu is also joining us this morning, National Communications Team for the NPP. Bro, how's it going? It's been a while, eh?
Yeah.
You've been busy. I know when the manifesto processes began, all of you got a bit busy. Well, majority of you.
Oh yes, because our manifesto, we all know that there is life within our manifesto, unlike the NDC's one where there is no soul within their manifesto. And we will definitely delve into that when we start our discussion.
Absolutely. Doctor is here. Ramsey Inusa is also here this morning, and he's a communications team member for the Movement for Change, and he's also now a family to us. He's always been here to also help us. Today, good to see you, my brother.
Good to see you. You're looking sharp, as usual.
I want to be like you.
As usual, KFG.
I want to be looking like
KFG.
He's a fine boy.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. I think we've got some interesting times ahead. Looking at the manifestos of both the NPP and the NDCs, I can say clearly that we've obviously shown superiority when it comes to the vision, right, of the leadership of Honorable Alan Kojo Tramantin, of what he has for this country and how he understands the economy, especially our macroeconomy and our microeconomy. And so there are interesting times ahead. The youth of Ghana definitely have hope. We've been left with a hopeless system for 32 years now, coupled by the duopoly of the NPP and the NDC. And I must say this unequivocally, that I stayed abroad just like Adele did for a while.
I beg you.
And
I didn't stay anywhere.
And I said, accent in India. You know, I lived abroad for a while before coming to Ghana, and one of the media houses that we've always admired is Joy News. But I must say this, right, that I am beginning to lose that admiration for Joy News on one thing, that, KMJ, how is it that this general election
So you mean Joy News?
Joy News.
And Joy Prime?
Not Joy Prime. Never Joy Prime. It can't be Joy Prime.
So you have a problem with Joy News, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. It can't be so. It can't be fair, right? The media has a sole mandate to be what? Independent, right? And then entertain people, inform and educate. How is it that we are going into a general election and you're only projecting 2 candidates? You're projecting 2 systems, 2 parties that have failed us for 32 years. That is the case.
Have you made a complaint directly?
I have. You remember the last time I was telling you? I mentioned it to you.
I'm asking if you've...
And it's still ongoing. I mean, we were the first political polity to bring out a plan, not a manifesto. We are not talking about manifestos yet. We are talking about a plan. And we've always said that Ghana needs a long-term developmental plan. We've seen manifestos over the years. That is why we keep on landing into the IMF.
Ramsey, have you sent your people over there to engage in conversations?
KMJ, do I have to do that? The media has a strict code of conduct and ethics. I mean, if you go to the medical fraternity, they swear a hypocritical oath, right? I'm sure you guys also have an oath. You have to be unbiased and you have to be very fair in this.
Okay, so Ramsey,
so this is my message to Joy News. Please. Let us ensure parity.
So you are in the house.
In the political landscape.
In the house. So this is
yes. So this is my issue, and it's not only with Joy.
You're already here on Joy Prime.
Anyway, no, but I mean with Joy Prime, Sheila and her team. I mean, you guys are doing a fantastic job, and KMG, I must say that.
Thank you.
You know.
Thank you. But of course, Joy News has been very independent, credible, and fearless over the years, and we'll continue to stay on that track. And so definitely it's something that we'll address, and we'll take it from there. It shouldn't be a problem at all. Anyway, so we'll move on, and let's begin with our conversation. So this is what the NDC actually said in the manifesto at the the sector where they said they will be creating jobs. So it says that Ghana has recorded its highest unemployment rate of almost 15%, with youth unemployment at about 32% under the field of Akufo-Addo Bawumia government. As a result, a vast majority of Ghanaians have been plunged into abject poverty and pain. A June 2024 Ghana Statistical Service report showed that 7.3 million Ghanaians are experiencing severe poverty. Now, the current unemployment crisis has been occasioned by reckless economic mismanagement, rampant corruption, waste, and disconnect between government policies and job outcomes. Increasing hopelessness and desperation have compelled many to join the mass exodus of Ghanaians in search of greener pastures, a phenomenon called Jaka by the youth. This poses a significant threat to our fledgling democracy. Thus, job creation will be a high priority for the next NDC government. So this is where the emphasis is. Thus, job creation will be a high priority for the next NDC government. We'll implement revolutionary and transformational policies to create sustainable, decent, well-paying jobs. We will implement revolutionary and transformational policies to create sustainable, decent, well-paying jobs. And they have the 24-hour economy, which we already know, Women's Development Bank. We have the National Apprenticeship Program. And then we have the almighty Ejumera Program as well. So these are the programs they want to put in place to ensure we have the jobs that we all seek to, have in this country. Adele.
KMJ.
The 24-hour economy, we've been used to it because it was the first one that was actually almost everywhere that we had to scrutinize over and over again. The Women's Development Bank is also another one that we had, a few, maybe months into the heat of the moment, or even before the launch of the manifesto. We heard that it was mentioned. And then we've discussed the National Apprenticeship Program also years, some time back. The Ejumera Program also. Now we've seen it in the manifesto. Between the time that it was being discussed and now that it's been etched in the manifesto, what is the difference in terms of execution or implementation, if you like, or in terms of understanding of these programs that we've put together?
Okay. So, KMJ, first of all, let me indicate that youth unemployment is hovering somewhere around 30%. Unemployment in itself is hovering around almost 15%.
Yeah.
At the time the NDC left power, unemployment was hovering around 8.4, 8.5, thereabout, which is basically a single digit. Now, you must understand that things have changed, in the country. Things have actually turned a bit upside down. And so what it requires is that in order for us to solve the problems that, for instance, the methods that were used to solve certain problems back in the day in 2014, 2013, 2015, 2009, you can't use those same methods in creating employment today. The reason being that there are so many issues that have gone haywire and we need to actually put them in place. You have a country that is hovering at a point in time 105, percent of your GDP, pretty much. That GDP was roaming around 105 at a point in time. We bequeathed to them 56, percent, of GDP. You have a situation where today we're basically struggling, the average Ghanaian is struggling to keep, food on the table. I mean, over 1.9 million people are targeted to probably fall below the poverty line. So certainly we have to do things a bit differently. KMJ, in order to solve this, you need to tackle this from two angles. First of all, you need to look at those that, can work but are not employable. There are a group of people that actually, are available to be able to do something. Say he's 20 years old, 21 years old, he probably hasn't had any formal education, but he also doesn't have any kind of training. He doesn't have any kind of training because he hasn't actually been given that opportunity or perhaps cannot afford to go under an apprenticeship program and then study something. Now, these are a group of people that we need to also target. To solve unemployment requires that you take those that are employable and to take those who can actually work but they are unemployable because they don't have the necessary skill. So let's start with that. Those who don't have the necessary skill, what the NDC is saying is that in order for us to solve this issue, we need to take what is called the National Apprenticeship Program seriously. What is the National Apprenticeship Program? This is a program that is basically aimed at taking young people who find themselves in the streets who are ready and willing, by gathering data, who are ready and willing to learn a trade. KMJ, every single one of us watching this morning, every single one of us in this studio would tell you that they have family members who they have had to go and hand them over to a certain seamstress or hand them over to a certain mechanic, or you have family members who are probably learned a certain trade, probably he's a tailor, he's into fashion designing, and all of that. And then we're looking for young people who finish high school and they go like, oh, and then the parents go like, we don't have money, you can go and learn a trade. I remember, back in the day at a point in time growing up, way before I came into the picture, some of my siblings would tell my dad they would rather, want to learn a trade. So my elder brother, for example, he had to go and learn mechanical engineering. He had to learn, mechanics, pretty much. So what we're saying is that those sets of people who would have wished they would have done that, I have had somebody walk to me and tell me, look, I want to go and learn aluminium works. But the problem is that the man I want to study from says that I have to come, it will say maybe Tunsa or something, So you need to take some crates of, drinks and some money and all of that, right? Now, what John Dramani Mahama and the NDC is trying to solve is that we don't want the people to fall within that category of not being able to find the resources to go and learn a job.
So you provide for them the money?
So what we're saying is that we're going to provide under the National Apprenticeship Program, we're going to provide the system in place to pay for these amounts of monies that are required for these young people to get into employment. All we need to do is set up offices in the various places that are required. A young man who is interested, a young woman who is interested and ready to study, knowing very well that they are Ghanaians and they have a share in the cake of the state, we're saying we're putting this down, go in there, apply, tell them you want to study, what do you want to study? The National Apprenticeship Program will take care of it. Once you are done studying, the next thing that you would also know is that KMJ, usually people would walk up to you and say, oh, I've gone to learn how to sew, I've gone to learn how to do mechanics, but I don't have the tools. I've gone to learn carpentry, but I need a hammer, I need some hand tools, tools to utilize. The National Apprenticeship Program after your training, then takes care of that and then gives you something which would help you to actually start up.
And this will be deployed on party colors?
Certainly not.
In terms of
no.
enrolling these people?
That is why we're saying that offices are basically going to be set up, and then we'll do training in our local languages. People will come to understand that if you need this, this is where you need to go. Today, people have understood that if you want to buy prepaid, you know where you have to go. If you want to go Ghana water, you want to pay your water bill, you know where you have to go. If you want NHIS, you know where to go. What we're saying is that we want to set up an office that allows people to willingly walk in there. Your mother can now get up and go like, oh, after SS, you know what, because of the National Apprenticeship Program, the fact that maybe perhaps, we would not be able to assist you in a certain way, or perhaps you're not interested in going, just go to the National Apprenticeship Program, apply for it, and then the state will take care of you. Why? Yes.
No, knowing the background where
Right.
the NDC is coming
Right.
from in
Right.
terms of there's elections.
Right.
And the way the NDC want to account, for all the things that the MPP has done and all of that, you think that won't get to a point where you would have to be asking for party colored or party affiliation
KMJC,
to be able to get
No.
those jobs that was
Okay,
want
so
to create?
so you see, the difference between the NDC and MPP is this thing that you're talking about. You see, the NDC understands and acknowledges the fact that it is a father who has three wives who have children. We understand the fact that if at any point in time the first wife's son or the second wife's daughter is the one that is sitting on that company to take care of everybody else, the NDC understands that the property belongs to all of us. We understand that. We understand that. We understand that. That is why we're not discriminatory in the things that we do. In fact, in 2016, we have had people who have said to us, in fact, our own party supporters who have said to us that, they are struggling while, MPP is basically benefiting. I mean, there are people who told us that we sent a lot of projects to Ashanti region when we should have gone to Volta region. But you see, what you have to understand is that as a state, whether we like it or not, someone from Ashanti, someone from Volta, someone from Eastern, it is true that when your mother is in the kitchen, you would expect a little bit of extra meat. I can understand that. But that should not deprive the generality of the people. That should not deprive the third wife's son, because at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, the property belongs to them too. You know what I'm saying? So this is a clear-cut difference between us and them. We do things knowing very well that the average Ghanaian needs to benefit, and we will do that. What we need to do to our party people as a political party, we'll take care of that as a political party. But what we need to do for the generality of the people to benefit, we would have to do is certainly for everybody else to benefit.
Okay.
So that has to do with the national apprenticeship.
Yeah, I know. So we'll stop there. I'll take you of that.
Okay.
No, I'll come back to you.
You come back to
We'll
me.
come
Very
back to
well.
you again. We're looking at all the policies.
No
put in
problem.
place.
No
So
problem.
That's on the National Apprenticeship Program. We'll come back to the others. Now, let me move on to Neil. Neil, what do you make of it? The NDC says they're way different from the MPP. They're not vindictive. If whatever it is, if you don't vote for us, we come into power. There's a national apprenticeship program that everybody will benefit.
First of all, I want to say good morning to the incoming president of our republic, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, and his able vice, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Pembe. It is quite saddening to listen to the NDC on how they want to take our country, the path they want to take our country into, because if we take a look at when the MPP came into power in 2000, under His Excellency former J.A. Kufuor, we initiated a policy that covered the whole nation, because we are, as a party, known as a party that always initiate policies to alleviate the sufferings of the populace. We introduced NHIS during Kufuor's time, which covered our health issues as at then. It reduced infant mortality. And under Nanado, His Excellency Nanado, currently, we introduced a policy which is a major one in free SHS. And going forward into the future with Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, we'll be introducing several policies, but the one I see as the main one will be the tax, flat tax rate, which is going to revolutionize our tax-based system. When I listen to Adele making comments on what the NDC is going to do in terms of their manifesto, it kind of cast my mind back to when John Dramani Mahama went and commissioned the Hope City project, which he promised 50,000 jobs for the Ghanaian populace, but never came into fruition, never came into materialization. So I still wonder if it's the same Mahama who is bringing policies which is, I believe, AI generated. I don't think it has any soul in it, as I said before the start.
Which of the policies is AI generated?
I mean,
all of them?
there is no
about four of
there,
them under
there, I
job
told, before we started the show, I said the MPP's manifesto is full of life because we are known as a party to initiate and
How does that make
policies.
it AI generated?
We initiate and introduce policies which the whole Ghanaian benefits from. Since the NDC came into inception, there's never been a policy which they have ever initiated for the Ghanaian populace. And when we take a look at job creation, we have created more jobs than any government in this fourth Republican revolution. We have created 2.3 million jobs, and the data shows from every ministry. This is not even including the private sector, the SMEs, who have done more in terms of job taking, taking people in jobs. And when we talk about jobs in itself, we need electricity. We need electricity to be able to run our businesses, for businesses to improve. And we all know what happened during John Dramani Mahama's time, when this nation was plunged into doomsday for close to 4 years, which was a deliberate act by his government during that time.
They intentionally.
It was intentional. If viewers can go on Google and type Atuabo gas, the Wikipedia link for Atuabo gas, the second paragraph, it's boldly stated in there that the main reason we had this issue was because of the monies being owed to WAPCO during that time. So it was a deliberate thing by the NDC during this time.
Why would any party
and I don't know. That's what they do. They collapse businesses. They collapse things. So listening to Adele espousing things in their manifesto, there is no life in it. As I said, their manifesto is soulless. And if you take a look at during Mahama's tenure, between 2014 and 2015, we had fuel scarcity in this country. We were queuing for fuel. Despite we not having electricity tariff was going every year, annually, 50% increase. As we speak, I don't think you are currently using generator in your office. And when last did you use generator?
We still have fuel increase.
We still have fuel increase as we have it now. It's around 11%, not up to 12% annually. Of course, it's going to be better with the introduction of Go for Oil policy, which has stabilized oil prices in Ghana. And also, when you take a look at other countries, they've had fuel shortages during this period, like Togo. Between the month of September 2023 to May of this year, they've had fuel shortages 3 different times. We all know what's happening in Nigeria. And if you take a look at, I believe it's Guinea. Guinea went through oil fuel shortages, and that necessitated them from pulling their kids from school because there was no oil. But despite the exogenous factors that has affected our nation, we, the MPP, have been able to keep our lights on. And keeping the lights on also will help businesses to thrive. And, you know, every person with their vision in life, with Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia's vision of introducing the flat tax rate policy, which is going to revolutionize our taxes in this country. Because when businesses have a good tax system, it makes them thrive, it makes them grow. We have electricity, which we are supplying. We have installed more installed capacity since we came into power compared to what the NDC left. Because if you look at the energy statistics report for 2016, as at the end of 2016, when NDC was leaving power, the total installed capacity in Ghana was close to 4,000 megawatts. And was close to was 3,000 something megawatts. If I could take a look at the data in this, but as at the end of 2023, the energy statistics report, page 15, states that we have done way more than the NDC, 5,000 plus megawatts. We've added more than they have, and with the promise of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia that they is going to introduce the solar 2,000 megawatts of solar energy capacity into our grid. That one is also going to boost
and all
our
these are going to help
businesses.
in creating jobs.
Of course.
Unemployment on the rise.
Unemployment on the rise globally is on the rise, but we have done way better than the NDC has ever done. Because my brother here may mention that unemployment rate was 8%. But if viewers can just type in Google, unemployment rate in 2015 under the NDC was 6.8%. Unemployment rate in Ghana, as we speak, as at the end of 2023, if you type unemployment rate in Ghana in 2023, it's hovering around 3.6%. So we, despite the exogenous factors that has affected us, we have done more and better than the NDC. Their best economy being run by the Mahama government is not even close to our worst performance. So why would Ghanaians want to take the NDC back? We need to forge into the future. We need to move ahead with Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. He is the Joshua of our time. Okay. He is the Joshua of our time. Because if you take a look at what we went through under the NDC, and it took the Moses of our time, in His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to save us from the oppression. You quite remember in the Bible that Pharaoh had he was stubborn. God put stubbornness in his heart. And if you quite remember, our former president also making mention that he has the dead goose syndrome. So there's some kind of similarities between them. Moses has saved us. His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa has saved us from the grip of the NDC. Now we need to forge ahead with the Joshua of our time, which is His Excellency Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. He's going to lead us into the land into this digital age, which we currently want to be in. We don't want to be left out. So we need, and I implore that the Ghanaian populace should not turn back. Because when the people of Israelites, when they were in the wilderness with Moses and Joshua, they did not turn back, despite their agitations, despite their complaints. In the end, they still forged ahead. I implore the Ghanaian populace not to look back, not to turn back. Turn back to the times of Mahama. Because Mahama, when he comes back to power, he doesn't have another year to come asking for votes anymore. His time is due. It's the last term is going to, so he will do whatever. Imagine when he was in power, he did whatever he wanted to do. He told us he would do whatever he wanted to do, and he did whatever he wanted to do. Now that he's not going to be asking you for votes again, because knowing if, unfortunately, by God's grace, it won't happen, that he wins, he's not going to be asking us for any voting. Okay. He will do whatever he wants. So Ghanaians should know that Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is the future of this country, and he has the mandate after the first term. He will come again to you to ask for power. And with that in mind, he will definitely put things in place. And as I know he's a man of integrity, he will keep his words.
Very well. Thanks, Neil. Let me go to Dr. Ramsey.
KMG, I have a video for you, if Sheila can play it, from your colleague, Samson.
Have you given it to
yes, Sheila, if you can please play the video.
You want it played before you submit?
No, but yes, when they start out.
Okay, so when it's ready,
yes.
let you know.
KMG, I have heard the two of them. And it seems every time we talk about issues, the MPP will refer to the NDC. The NDC will refer to the MPP. But at the end of the day, when two elephants fight, who suffers?
The grass, the ground?
Exactly.
Wherever they are fighting.
Exactly. And today, someone has emanated out of the ground. A grassroots leader. A leader who is for the people. A people's leader. Right? And he's saying that we need to move away from this kind of politicking and system that has plundered this country for 32 years now. And we've not seen any significant development in the lives of Ghanaians economically, right? And move ahead with a government of national unity so that today, KMG, if maybe you're not a card-bearing member of any political party, you can also have a share in the national discourse and also development, right? Today, what do we see? If you belong to a certain party, as to whether the party is in power, that is when you'll be able to get the opportunity to contribute. And even in your contribution as well, I don't think that it is the contribution to the nation, but to the party. We see a party-first approach by these two dominant parties, and we don't see a national agenda. And that is why the Movement for Change has brought about pragmatic policy solutions, a plan. And when Adele was speaking, I am glad. Just as the saying that the baobab tree, right, is like wisdom. It's big like wisdom, right? No one single person can embrace it. Yeah. I am glad to say that the GTP, the Great Transformational Plan of Honorable Alan Kojo Tramante, is like a baobab tree full of wisdom. And so we can't only embrace it, but they have also embraced it. And I'm glad that some of the policies that I am glad.
Are the policies similar to what you have?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm very, very proud that indeed they have
Which of the policies
taken
like
inspiration.
policy from your...
So, for example, we talked about a mandatory national internship and apprenticeship program after SHS and then your TVET education. They have also expounded us. We have also given certain, I would say, policy incentives to businesses, non-physical and physical incentives to businesses that take up fresh graduates, right? And then companies that also want to train our youthful people that want to get into the work of life. So these are similarities that we have. And I'm very proud because we were the first political polity to come up with a plan. And if today their manifestos is tapping from our plan, I am proud. I would say that
I'm sure they will disagree.
No, I am proud. I mean, they can disagree, but it is what it is.
It's a mere coincidence that you both ended up.
That's why I said that. It's like the baobab tree. Wisdom is like a baobab tree, right? No one single person can embrace it. So if the GTP is like a baobab tree full of wisdom, of course, then the rationale is that we can't embrace it alone. So if they have also embraced it, then that is why we are calling for a government of national unity. That the movement for change will bring the best out of the NDC and the MPP. We are not saying that completely the MPP is an evil party or the NDC is a completely corrupt or evil party. There are some individuals in there that are highly virtuous, that I respect, that so many people respect, and we know their names, right? We will bring that best erudition from these two dominant parties and then formulate a government of national unity, push an agenda to reform our constitution, which is a major issue, and then propel the agenda of the GTP to solve youth unemployment. We talked about strategic anchor industries, and this is the video by Samson, if you...
Okay, is the video ready? Is it a video we can play? Okay, let's take a look at it.
Yes.
Forming the constitution, the various parts. So this document for me represents listening to the people. My questioning revolves around your promise to amend Article 78. You will need sufficient numbers in Parliament in case you won. First, to be able to engineer it, and subsequently for the purposes of a referendum. How are you going to be successful with that? Because that is going to be a major challenge for a group like yours. You can't appoint your ministers, but the majority from Parliament. That dovetails into a part of the question here. How many MPs, candidates, are you nurturing around so that if you got sufficient votes, you will get sufficient members of Parliament to help you in the final event? I'm a believer, Bridget Jubronuku, and voted for Esla Owusu Ekofo. I stand for the Ghanaian who believes that we need to encourage people like you to change the narrative. Forming the constitution, the various parts.
All right, so that's the press briefing by the Movement for Change, where our very own Samson, lawyer Samson Ladu spoke and asked a few questions based on the manifesto they put together.
Yes.
Beyond the similarities that we seem to have, according to you, you think the NDC is in good position to execute these policies they've put together?
Unfortunately not. You see, when we look at leadership, right? Leadership has some qualities, right? And history would give you some guidance as to whether a leader can be credible, right? A leader can be trusted. And of course, if a leader can deliver on his mandate. Respectfully, I am not the one that comes to call people names. I admire the former President John Dramani Mahama, right? And I also admire the current Vice President, Alhaji Bawumia, right? Even though both of them have failed the youth of this country, right? Mahama took a rising economy from 14% in 2012 to 3.2% and then dumped it to the IMF. Today, our debt to GDP ratio is over 100%. They said that they were not going to the IMF today, tomorrow, and tomorrow next. Currently, youth unemployment is over 15%. We have 1.9 million youth unemployed, right? Our banks are in crisis. Our businesses are suffering. Inflation is so high in this country. And currently, right, some of the policies that they introduce, like the planting for food and jobs, right, the one village, one dam, hasn't inured any benefit to the people of Ghana. And I have a question for the MPP rep here. If indeed you claim you have built dams in all the villages, right? Can you tell me what is the economic water productivity of those dams? That is a question I put to him. If he feels it's too technical, he should go back to his Minister for Agri for them to... And I hope that KMG, you can follow up on this because it will tell you the true state of that policy. It is a total failure that today farmers are being forced not to sell their grains or export their grains because of someone's failure to ensure that the right thing is done. And they spent over 3 billion Ghana cedis, KMJ. In 2022, the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana conducted a whole holistic research on this PFA and told us that it was a waste of money. The Ghana Association, the Ghana GAU, Ghana Association of Farmers, right, Union of Farmers, also told us that the PFJ was a useless policy, for want of a better word, right? Today, food inflation is over 50%, KMG. If indeed we are self-sufficient, if indeed this policy was successful, why is it that you would put a ban on grains, right? So clearly, they have failed us. And we're talking about 32 years. Respectfully, the people of Ghana should listen that it is 32 years we're talking about. 32 years now, and we're still talking about potable water. We're still talking about Dumso. 32 years now, and we've not been able to fully reorient our economy from an export-driven one, right? The current orientation of our economy is an import-driven one. Yeah. So we haven't really leapfrogged our industries, right? Clearly. And that is why Honorable Alan Kojo-Tramante is saying that enough is enough. Let's all come together, right, as a people. We should not divide our people as we've seen the division go on in these 32 years now. People have been divided based on their ethnicity and then their religious affiliation. That is very, very dangerous as a country. We are people with a common destiny. We need a leader that would rally around the dreams and aspirations of the youth and everybody, irrespective of where you're from, so that collectively we can achieve our dreams. Look, China, and I keep on saying China because, yes, I keep on saying China. KMG, do you know that China has 53 different tribes? Yet still, when you go to China, you don't even see any systemic discrimination amongst its people.
It's a national agenda.
It's a national agenda. And the Chinese...
To a large extent, we have believed in national agenda. We're not using our tribes to interfere in our national... Not as bad as... I'm not saying it's not there, but not as bad as we're probably even looking at it.
Really?
I'm just saying.
KMJ, I'll be surprised if you say...
Is that bad?
It is bad. I am telling you for a fact. I am in the political arena, and I know very well that if you are from a certain tribe, you will not live up to certain, what do you call it? You will not rise to certain positions. I know that for a fact. It is there in our country. Today, in our family value system, if you're from a certain tribe, right, you will not be able to marry into a certain tribe, right? Just because you are from a certain... It's there.
But the
Tribalism...
The MPP has a northern person now becoming the flag bearer, which something was believed that would never have happened.
No, but the idea that a northern person cannot even be a flag bearer, it is what I am even
But it's happening now.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
They're not done better with that.
The idea, do you understand? That philosophy that a northern person or a southerner or an ever cannot rise up to a certain position is what I'm arguing on.
All right, Ramsey, let me take some few messages from our viewers and then I'll come back to you guys. This one says, former President Mahama and the NDC 24-hour economy is only consequential and not deliberate policy to drive a nation. That's Ajenim Boatim Domipila 2 sent in that. There's a very long one over here, and it says, hi, KMJ, good morning to you and everyone in the studios, including the field NPP communicator in there. KMJ, when are you bringing the man of the movement, Malega Basintele, or the Basintele boy to your studios? You'll be coming very soon. Special greetings to the visionary leader, His Excellency John Mahama, and Mama Jane, our incoming president. In fact, how can Brian the Champion say that one village, one dam has served its purpose? Mr. Brian, in which way? I don't think Brian the Champion knows the football pitches they created in the name of one village, one dam. Someone need to speak to Mr. Brian to stop beating war drums and get to work, because the NDC handed over a country to them with plenty food, and the NPP must hand over Ghana back to the NDC in January 2025 with enough food. How on earth can a minister for Agric sit down in his office for the president to travel to Tamale and Upper East, see people's farms, promise to help before the minister knows that there's a problem? Who reports to who? Let me use this opportunity to appeal to the Solar Tuna Kalba DCE and Assembly that the street lights from the Kalba station in Tuna to Tuna Secondary Technicals has ceased working since 2016 when the NPP took over till date, and the students use the road every night to school and town. So they should do something about it. Master Rahman inside Tuna Solar Tuna Kalba sent in that one. All right, thank you so much for contributing this morning. This one over here says that Nana Kwamabuatina Blakema Central, aka Dr. Baumia, is breaking the 8. Good morning, KMJ. Dr. Baumia is the only candidate who has provided a bold policy to tackle Asian problems. Typical one is to flat tax regime, not pegging the duty to $1. This brings certainty in the business community, and with regards to Ambassador Mike Okwe Jr. All right, let me move on to another one. This one says, good morning to everyone. In this year's election, is Ghana versus NPP. I can promise the good people of Ghana that in the next NDC government, all NPP officials will be in prison. I will lead the crusade of those who embezzled the cathedral money. They will vomit every single money. But I can't match John Mahama. Good luck, MP for Keta, Honorable Gali. Abochi Philip from Keta sent in that. Another one over here says, good morning, KMJ. Concerning the issues raised by the guy about Joy News, Ramsey, you mean, I want to tell him that Joy News has a program around 2 p.m. every day that gave chance to aspiring candidates to come and talk about the ideas and policies. Tell him not to start tagging our lovely, independent, and fearless Joy News. It is a private station, and they can choose how to run their program. They can decide not to project any candidate. You should go and talk to GBC. Cephas Logic Peve, Newtown Health Center. Cephas, the good thing is that we're open to all political parties. And Joy News has been, like that for the years. We've always been the headquarters when it comes to elections. So Ramsey's issue will be handled. It's not even a problem at all. This one says, good morning, KMJ. Please, I missed Kwekuba Akon, Asla Owusu, and David Asante, Mustafa Hamid, and some pastors 8 years ago. Tell them to answer the missed calls from Ghanaians. Ghana indeed needs JM badly as antivirus to reset it. And that's Simon who sent that. Let me go to Meshach Asante inside Amasaman. It says, we're welcoming President Mahama to Amasaman today with a lot of excitement, and it will be wow. And again, I want to ask you, is there anybody in NPP who is still not, who still does not understand the concept and the meaning of 24-hour economy? Then I invite that person to Amasaman Hospital this morning. We're doing free screening for people who have problems with their brains as part of the President Mahama visit to Amasaman. Greetings to Selim Afenyo, incoming MP for Amasaman, and that's Meshach over there. This one here says, good morning, KMJ. My name is Loro from Tamale. When I hear John Mahama saying about creating jobs, it makes me feel bad. This man can never be trusted. There are a lot of promises that he made in 2012 manifesto, and he didn't do it. Why is he promising us more? He said Ghana needs to be reset. He should reset himself, not Ghana. That is why we are not short. We don't have short memory. We are not short memory people. You mean to say? Okay. Good morning, KMJ. The NDC have nothing new to offer. Everything in their manifesto either being implemented already or already promised by Baumia. Yesterday, 1,000 youth who went through the YEA skills training program were presented with all necessary tools to go into the job market. It is possible. Okay, let me go to this one. It says, KMJ, is it only the NDC manifesto that happened within the last weekend? Since Monday, Tuesday, and today, Wednesday of your program focuses on the NDC manifesto. We are kindly monitoring you, so give us a fair reportage. Bro, when the NPP had their manifesto, the entire week was dedicated to them. You didn't come here to test this. And we're doing the same thing for the NDC, and you're complaining. The NPP had a press briefing, which was on the Sunday, and we've spoken about that here on the show. We're focusing on the NDC manifesto, just as we did for the NPP. So please, don't take it there. The National Democratic Congress NDC manifesto focusing on job creation is a good approach. Job creation is a critical aspect of economic development and can have a positive impact on individuals, families, and communities. By prioritizing job creation, the NDC manifesto aims to address issues like unemployment, poverty, and inequality, creating jobs, creating hope, creating a brighter future. I stand with the NDC in their commitment to putting Ghanaians back to work. And let me go to this one. It says, good morning. Okay, Rosalind, my name is KMJ. Rosalind was on yesterday. In fact, Ronaldo and Baumia horror movie Ghanaians have watched over the years made many people sick. Some died and many are neither sick nor strong. Those who lost their jobs and business in the banking sector have still not recovered. That's why God has chosen John Dramani Mahama to come and save Ghanaians with his experience. His 24-hour economy will create millions of jobs for the youth. The state looting will also end, but a vote for Baumia and Arrogant Apot will be the third term for state looting, corruption, family, and friends. I encourage everyone to vote for John Dramani Mahama, and that's Solomon Zenuma. I think Luther sent in that. This one over here says, good morning, KMJ. Welcome to Ghana, where expressing yourself as a neutral person and speaking the truth against their lies makes the incumbent see you as an NDC party guru. What if the person is speaking from GAM, which is also on the political party, or the New Force, and these sub-parties to the NDCs? Must everyone constantly belong to either NPP or the other? As for me, I belong to Jesus, after all. If I declare that I am in support of a particular party today, what will I declare tomorrow? Nike from Cape Coast. Okay, so maybe on that note, I'll come back to some of the messages. Let me just go to you now. And,
no, you're done.
A big thank you. I'll come to you. And let's say a big thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise this morning. The Franco Trading Enterprise is making it possible for us to have this conversation, and they have phones and accessories. They've got refrigerators.
We're going to the second leg.
CCTV cameras. They have televisions that you can buy from them, and please, you're buying quality. So anytime that you think about any of these gadgets, thank Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, phone Papa Path here, very affordable, and it lasts longer. You're guaranteed of quality. So please go there. You can call us on 0555939311, or you can also go to the Google Play Store and download the Franco Trading app. You have all the branches. You also get to have all the, the numbers you can call on and all that. But please do not, pick any number on social media to call on. You always have to call the one that we give to you. And today, again, we're giving out money. Quick cash over the last, 2 months or so has been giving monies to people, and you have to also get your money. It's pretty simple. Just dial *281#, and option 7 is Joy Prime, and then you go to the next step, which would see you, just play. Start from 5 cities upwards, and you get to win 1,000 Ghana cedis for yourself. And so please, yesterday we had winners. Today we're going to have winners as well. So continue to play. It's quick cash, *281#. And then you're good to go. The option is number 7, Joy Prime. There are other stations, but Joy Prime is number 7, and that's where you're playing. And so play Joy Prime and win 1,000 Ghana cedis this morning. You can use it for a lot of things. 1,000 Ghana cedis can do so many things. And so please don't forget to continue to vote, to play and win. Now, Joy News and Anna Amagamba of professional bodies, they are organizing a public speaking event on the theme Transformed Individuals Transforming the World, a challenge for the religious community in Ghana. And speakers will be Dr. Philip Engman. We also have Dr. Mrs. Yvonne Irenchua Iseku, Ambassador Omar Sanda Ahmed, Lieutenant Colonel retired, will also be speaking as well. Main speaker will be Reverend Dr. Joseph Kofi Enchi. Moderator will be Philip Osei Bonsu, the host of Ekosi Seng on Adom FM. The date will be on the 17th of September 2024. It starts at 6:30 p.m. and it will be happening at the British Council Hall. For more information on this, please do call 0244-220-427, 0244-220-427. And this event is powered by Joy News and Joy FM. So please try and prepare.
KMJ.
Yeah.
A quick one, then we go into the next one. You know, being the class captain for Joy Prime, in fact, being the class captain over the years, I know how we do it here in your studios. We don't say just anything we want to say. When we say, we need to back it up. And so I want to fact check my brother. He said two things. One, he said that electricity, in fact, they have added more than any other has ever done, you know, when they came to power. That is a blatant lie. Like, it amazes me how they're able to look into the cameras and lie. Like, they lie openly, deliberately, and they know it's a lie, but he lies. First of all, the installed capacity, as at the time they were leaving power, is 1,970 megawatts. That was the installed capacity before they left power in 2008. This is what they left. We carried it from that to 3,795, okay, under the NDC. In their own performance tracker. So basically, the NDC did, you know, somewhere around, if you want to check in terms of percentages, almost 20-something%. In their own performance tracker, what they have indicated, listen, what they have indicated is that they have added 5.51%. They have increased it, you know, 5.51%, increased it compared to what it was in 2016. What they have added to it, we left them at 82-point-something%. They have only added 88.75. Currently, it is at 88.75. In their own performance tracker, what they have done is 5.51%. How is 5.51%, you know, greater than 22%? Blatant lie. Again, he comes and says that, oh, the NDC, when you ask them, they are the people that destroy jobs because during the time of Junto, that is what they do. They just destroy the jobs. Okay. KMJ, the person who destroyed jobs is the one that left you Ameri, left you Car Power, left you Atuabo, left you Energy Sector Levy Act, ESLA. You, the one who is not destroying job, you came in, you're owing today Atuabo almost 3 billion. As we speak, you have collateralized ESLA, you have taken the money, you haven't paid the judgment debts. As we speak today, you have the same people you accuse us that the reason why we are where we are today, we were when we were in 2016, 2014, was because we were not paying the energy producers. Okay, you have come with all the wisdom. We left you ESLA. You have sat down and chopped the ESLA money. You have not paid them. We have gone back to that same situation. In fact, we even created something very, very beautiful for you. We created a system that allows all these people to be paid. You have collapsed it. This is you creating jobs. Now let's go to tomorrow.
That they've managed the energy sector better than you.
How is that possible?
Well, because they've been able to sustain the power for a while now.
KMJ.
Until we started having these issues. That
okay, so assuming they didn't.
So that would be the argument that.
Okay,
well,
no problem.
Yes, you left us all of.
Granted.
We've been able to manage it better.
Granted. KMJ, you think that if Kufuor's government left us what we left for them, we would have gone into doomsday? Do you think? You sincerely believe that if Kufuor had left us what we had left for them, Ameri, Car Power, ESLA, Atuabo, you think that if Kufuor had left us ENI, we spent 6 billion in building ENI. The plan was to do Atuabo, not stop there, and then go into petrochemical industry, clothing, basic things. This was the plan. You abandoned it. So, credibility, no. Let's go to Ejumura. You see, both of them have still not been able to come and talk about whether the program that I discussed was acceptable or it's
Ramsey said that there's similarities that you guys picked from them. So
KMJ,
they have espoused that.
We would come and have that conversation. I'll come to Ramsey later. You see, this conversation that Ramsey keeps talking about, I always try as much as possible to avoid it because, you see, it's insulting. The reason why it is insulting is because your candidate sat together with these people. Okay? Sat together with them. You messed up the state. Alan Tremantin sat down and watched us being raped for 7 years.
That is not true.
Sat down and watched us being raped for 7 years. You think if Alan had won, I'm coming. You think why? In what sense?
As a president,
when can you keep quiet?
No.
When Kennedy Japan was making all the noise in this country, saying where we are going is unacceptable. Stop what you're doing. You're raping the state. People are stealing
That was Alan.
money. No, I'm saying when Kennedy was saying that, where was Alan? He didn't know they were raping us. Is it today that Alan knows that things were bad? Again, then he says, oh, 32 years of NDC and MPP. Where was Alan? The 32 years. Alan was not part of the 32 years. Was he not part of MPP 16 years?
Yeah.
So don't even go there. You leave that one. Let's go to Jumawara. KMJ, listen. What is John Dramani Mahama saying? I'll give you a typical example of what I have had to live through, something like that. So my wife, okay, decided some years back in 2020 when things got really, really messy, KMJ. Work is not going, COVID, blah, blah, blah. She went to Melcom in Owusu. And then she was shopping and she saw some perfumes. She took those perfumes out of the shelf, brought it home, and then, when she got home, she just bought it. She wanted to use it personally. She got home, and then, the few people at home were like, hey, this perfume is actually nice. So then she started thinking, come to think of it, maybe people will buy. Then she sold the two, collected the money, went back to Melcom, collected the ones that were on the shelf. This is how she started, 2 perfumes. She collected the rest that was on the shelf. She came back, and then she came to sell it. Then she started going to Melcom. Because there are things there that people don't have time to actually go out and go and look for. And then she goes, she picks it, comes back, turn it around. Do you know today, as we speak, she has gotten to that stage where she's selling washing machines. She's selling, basic couch. Look, carpets, appliances, microwaves, and all of that. Do you know the biggest problem she faces? The biggest problem she faces is capital. And the training that requires for her to be able to stabilize that business. John Dramani Mahama is saying that there are a lot of young people who are online working, who would sell basic things. That if you want a mug, you can just go online and buy it. He's saying that let us set up something that allows these groups of people to be able to access resource in order for them to be able to help themselves. So he's saying that on a yearly basis, we are targeting 10,000 young people. What are we intending to do? We're setting up offices that is going to give them technical training, give them support, give them resource money if they require it, and then make sure that their businesses are stabilized. Do you know the number of young people in this country between the ages of 17 all the way to 35 who are basically surviving, especially the women who are basically surviving and supporting their homes and their families basically just by going online and then sell stuff? John Dramani Mahama says he's setting up an office that allows you to be able to come there. 10,000 people on a yearly basis. Within that 4 years, we would have done 40,000. Do you know what that means? What that means is that the average young person like my wife can now decide to get a shop, can now decide to run it, register it officially, and then what she would do is that she would now take 2 or 3 other people to give them job. Imagine if 4,000 young people are running this, and each one of them is even giving only 5 people job. Multiply that by 4,000 and see what happens and see the difference. KMJ, not to bore you, let me add you another thing. The Women's Development Bank. John Dramani Mahama says that, look, women are basically those ones that hold the family up. Wherever, look, in every family, when the women are empowered, the man doesn't really have to hustle. So if you go to our market today, anywhere you find them, you will find them. If it is the traffic light, yeah, they are there. If it's at home, they are there. Wherever you go, you find them. John Dramani Mahama is saying that let's set up what is called the Women's Bank. Managed by women. Managed by women. Women tellers, women managers, managed by women. And what are they supposed to do?
Across the country?
Across the country. And what are they supposed to do? They're supposed to assist women businesses or women-led businesses. This is what they're supposed to do. So the average woman who is a Makola, who probably just requires, when she goes to that office, maybe all that she requires is 5,000 Ghana cedis. That is fine. The average woman, again, who is probably running a small business and probably requires a little more than that. Maybe she needs 100,000, she can go. Maybe there's another one who needs 500,000, 400,000. But what we're saying is that we're targeting from the lowest all the way to the top, as long as it is women-led and it is women, develop businesses. For example, my wife can walk in here, and then decide that, okay, assist me with, say, 200,000. She's always talked about the fact that if she had 100,000 Ghana cedis, things will be different. She's just got to go to China and buy a few stuff and then come and sell 100,000 Ghana cedis. Somebody's looking for 200. Somebody's looking for 300,000 Ghana cedis. This is what we're saying as a party. Now, KMJ,
a quick one before you move on.
Okay. Would I get my...
I'm asking that
but I will get to conclusion.
All of this under an alien economy?
KMJ.
Fantastic question.
Okay. Fine.
Fantastic question.
Very good. Let me give you an answer to that. KMJ, listen. As we sit today, who told you there's no money coming in? Every month we're collecting taxes. Every month we're making money.
Those taxes are
No, KMJ, I'm coming. Let me tell you the difference. It's good he has brought this question. I'll take the advantage of this and then use your quote for today to answer them, both of them. We went to play soccer, the African Games. We spent how much in feeding people? 18, right? Are you aware of the fact that the renovation that we did in Legon University, those two buildings that we basically renovated for the African Games, we spent almost about $15 million on it?
15.
Are you aware that UPSA has actually put up two major blocks from scratch all the way to finishing and spent, which also started around that same period, and spent only $40 million. How does renovation do $15 million and then a whole from scratch, that's $40 million? They're just stealing the fund. That's what they're telling you. Oh, they're stealing.
Why are you pointing at me?
Oh, you were part of that.
No,
before.
please.
You are now out, but you were part of that. KMJ, now listen. KMJ, listen.
That is a pedestrian.
What I am telling you is that the resource is available. Do you know how much money has gone to the office of the presidency over the last few years? $3 billion.
Understandably
so,
but Adele,
KMJ,
you've got a debt to settle in 2026.
Yes. KMJ, listen. What we're telling, can you please?
And this is not just only policies that you believe.
KMJ.
This is just for jobs.
No problem.
You've got an alien economy.
No problem. KMJ, I am saying that as we speak today, you see, when you find yourself in a hole and you want to get out of that hole, the first thing you do is that you stop digging. They can't stop digging. You see, they don't have the discipline to stop digging. Oh, really? They can't stop. They're still digging. The issue is that, first of all, you need to stop. So that $34.9 million that went to the president's daughters, unacceptable. That other 27 Ramsey spoke about it the last time, that it's a cocoa board, unacceptable. That $18 million that is gone, unacceptable. That 12 million Paulugu Dam gone, unacceptable. 2 million SkyTrain, unacceptable. Ejapa, 12 million, unacceptable. We're telling you that, no, we're telling you the money is available. Till today, they are still spending. But where are they spending the money? They are spending their money in places that they know that they can actually siphon. So what do? Let's do something called NAPCO. Then they siphon. Let's do something called, one district, one factory. Let's do something called one village, one dam. And then you have a whole minister come and tell you that what kind of dam are you expecting if you are spending 250,000 Ghana cedis? I mean, that is basically stealing. So you know that 250,000 cannot give you, any sensible dam, but then you decide to put 250,000 Ghana cedis in each dam, and then you have spent billions of Ghana cedis in it. That is siphoning. I am telling you that when you stop the pillage, when you just stop, reduce your number of ministers. Stop. Reduce the salary your ministers are taking. Stop. Just stop. Okay? Get there, stop. Stop the pillages. Stop the stealing. Stop all of that. You would immediately come to realize that you have a certain buffer you can work with. That buffer, they don't have the discipline.
The NDC has the discipline for that.
KMJ, listen. In my conclusion. Yeah. You see, anytime you're given power, anytime you have power.
A lot happens with power.
A lot happens with power. Power, success, does not actually upgrade or add to your character or change your character. What it does, it reveals it. And when you're given power, what you have been given is discretion. And in the practice of discretion, one requires wisdom. That is why I said I like your quote for this morning. One requires wisdom in the exercise of what? Discretion. So I'll give you a typical example. Being given power and being given governance is being handed over discretion. So much such that you can decide and say that if I have an opportunity, there's a place called Ridge Hospital that has a little bit of space. My discretion in the usage of my power is that there are people who are living in Mamobini, Newtown, in Choco and the likes, who are all having to throng and go to Kolebu. And for that matter, let me use that discretion by applying wisdom, taking part of that land, expanding Ridge Hospital, giving it a new facelift, so beautiful, so much such that when the poor person, the average Ghanaian, goes there, they would get the health care that they require. That is the use of wisdom in discretion. These people lack that. When they had the opportunity, do you know what they did? They went to dig a big hole for you called the National Cathedral and spent almost $100 million on it. That is discretion. Discretion is having the power to decide, to choose that, okay, I want to do free senior high school. However, wisdom should tell me that I need to expand. They lack that. They don't have that. Discretion is knowing. And again, applying wisdom tells you that you cannot give a contract to someone who is directly related to you
after giving all the appointments that you have, even though the state has given you that power, that discretion to appoint the number of people that you want, it doesn't mean you have to go to 150 or 120 ministers. That is not applying wisdom in your discretion. And then you give your daughters $34.9 million contract. Do you know what $1 million is? $1 million is 16 million Ghana cedis. That is 160 billion old currency. So what it means is that for every $1 million, these children are making, the $10 million that was paid, these children are making 10 million times what? 160 billion. Do you know what that is? They like it.
All right, that's Adele.
KMG.
Oh, can I go and come back to you?
Sure.
Let me just take the thoughts of Neil, and then I'll come back to you.
I want to first of all say something to my brother. He made mention of the GDP ratio under the MPP being over 100%, but I want to say that is incorrect. It is hovering around 85%. And
the 100 was a projection, so
no, they went there. They went there.
Yeah, but the
before the
projection was about the end of the
DDE.
year.
But I'm...
No, it's my time. It's my time.
Align.
If viewers go on Google right now, type debt to GDP ratio, as at the end of 2023, it's hovering around 85%. And this year, it hasn't ended. We are still in 2024.
That's why I said the projection. But what it means
until
is that
the year...
we're already in the second quarter.
Until the year ends, before we can know what it actually is. Because there was a time, the first 3 quarters of last year, unemployment rates in Ghana was somewhere around 14 point something. But as at the end of last year, if you check, it's 3.6. So that one, and also on the one village, one dam thing, the minister said that in a report on TV3news.com, it says the rainy season, the dam was purposely made to store water. And also there were created dugouts that were made for it. So during the rainy season, when the water overflows from the dam, it goes into the dugouts. And there was bumper harvest last year due to the implementation of one village, one dam. So I need to make that on this show. And on to Adele. Adele said he wants to fact check the MPP. I believe our viewers are discerning, and I want to project data to our viewers and for the Ghanaian populace to know that the MPP doesn't thrive on propaganda. We work with facts. I want viewers at home to download this particular document. It's called National Energy Statistics 2007 to 2016 report. Just go on Google, type it, National Energy Statistics 2007 to 2016 report. And after downloading, just go on page 25 of it. That is where you have a table showing the installed capacity as at the end of 2016. The installed capacity as at the end of 2016 was 3,794.6 megawatts. As at in Adele's submission, he said when President Kufuor was leaving power, the installed capacity then was 1,970 megawatts. Cool. If you deduct 1,970 megawatts from the installed capacity the NDC left in 2016, which was 3,794.6 megawatts, you get a total installed capacity, which the NDC added to our national grid, coming to 1,824 megawatts. That is the totality of what the NDC installed. Now, viewers should also go online. Type 2024 National Energy Statistical Bulletin, 2024 National Energy Statistical Bulletin, and go straight to page 11. This, you have a table in there that will give the report of the year ending 2023, the number of installed capacity we have as at the end of 2023. We all know the MPP is in power. The total number of installed capacity as at the end of 2023 was 5,639 megawatts. Now, you know we've added some other ones this year also, the Kaleo one. So if you deduct 3,794.6 megawatts, which the NDC left for us in 2016, the total that you have after deducting 6,000, I need to do the calculation again so that I don't get it wrong. The total installed capacity, 5,639. That's as at the end of 2023, minus 3,794. We have 1,845 megawatts installed. We have installed more capacity generation in our power grid than the NDC has ever done. Their total capacity that was installed was 1,824 megawatts. And ours is 1,845 and still increasing. By the end of this year, we would have added not less than 500 megawatts to our power grid. So it is a falsehood, a false narrative by the NDC from time immemorial that they have installed more capacity than the NPP has ever done. It is a falsehood. And they've been going about with this. They always like churning our figures. Just churning our figures for the sake of it and to deceive the Ghanaian populace into believing they have done more things than we have ever done. There was a time they said His Excellency former President Mahama was the infrastructural king, the infrastructural master. That was the term they gave him. Only that's later, that's a falsehood, because since Mahama, during Mahama's period, before he left in 2016, the total number of roads built by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama wasn't up to 5,000 kilometers. It wasn't. And as we speak, under His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, we have more than 12,000 kilometers of road that has been completed. And still continuing. The west of MPP is
completed
better, yes, over 12,000 kilometers of road.
But they said that some of them are near completion, some of them are still ongoing.
Of course, there are certain projects that, the ones that are currently completed since we came into power 2017 till date.
The completed is the 12,200.
Over 12,000, and still continuing as you speak. As we're speaking, you can't tell me that whilst you drive around the road, whilst you drive,
that some of them are still near completion, and they are not part of the 12,000 you're talking about.
And I'm saying, that's why I gave you 12,000 plus kilometers. So it is still ongoing. So the NDC's one that they did, which wasn't up to 5,000.
The over 12,000, the over on it is not even up to 300.
Over on it?
The over 12,000, you're looking at 250.
KMJ, kindly listen carefully.
I'm listening, but I'm
asking that. The NDC, under John Dramani Mahama's regime, built close to 5,000 kilometers stretch of roads. And we have completed more than 12,000, which is 3 times more than they've ever done. I mean, the worst of this current MPP government is better than the best of the NDC government. We are doing way better in every facet of our economy, every sector, boot to boot, boot for boot.
And we're still struggling, the dollar to the cities.
Do you know something? There is a report by African Development Bank. If you check the August report, which is last month, the cedi's exchange rates as compared to other
I guess it's still this month, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, for July. It's for July, but the report states it as August report. That is from Africa.
Okay, so from July.
Bank. So the next month's own will be September, which is for August. In there, it states the exchange rate per currency of African nations. If you take a look at the data in there, you realize that the Ghana cedi is actually the 4th best currency in Africa. We are not happy about the rates at which the cedi is going to the dollar. But in terms of performance, compared to other African countries, we are doing way better. They pegged it with something they call the UA, which is a currency for African nations, which is pegged to the euro. The report is there. You can go online. Just type African Development Bank report for August in terms of exchange rate. You get it. So we're
doing better.
We are doing better compared to other African countries. So I want the Ghanaian populace to disregard all the comments made by Adele. It's just churning our propaganda. They don't give out facts.
Okay.
As I've said, we have installed more capacity than the NDC did under John Dramani Mahama. We have built more roads than they did. We have built more hospitals than they did. We have created more jobs, over 2.3 million jobs, still continuing. We And I want to repeat again, the worst of this MPP government is better than the best.
Okay, Ramsey.
It's the government.
Let me. I'm very glad that we're having a highly intellectual discourse, and you have moderated it very well by asking very critical questions. Indeed, we have an ailing economy, an economy that is an ICU currently, an intensive care unit, right? My brother Adele sat here to try and align Alan to the flaws of the MPP government. We have something we call collective responsibility and individual accountability. KMG, you are the host for this show, right? Yeah.
You have your roles as given by the producer or the director. If the camera fails to pick what is happening on set, can I blame you?
No.
So that is what Adele is trying to do. That is what he's trying to do. So, they have nothing.
But how I handle the camera going off is also something that I have to...
So that is what I have to educate him about. It was on record. Honorable Alan Kojo Tremantin, when the Baumia, His Excellency the Vice President, and then the late John Kuma and Nano Foriata made a pledge to the people of Ghana that we are not going to the IMF today, tomorrow, and never. Honorable Alan Kojo Tremantin was that first person to come out to speak that, indeed, where the economy is going to, we need to go for an IMF bailout. He was on record to come out. So clearly, he is a virtuous leader, right? Secondly, as well, he has castigated this MPP government by saying that the way things are going, it will be hard to even break the 8 or even convince the voter populace in this country. So it's on record. Now, let me correct my brother from the MPP, saying that the CD is, I think, the third performing currency. That is fourth performing. That is actually the opposite. The CD, according to Bloomberg, on the 15th of June, says that the CD is ranked as the worst performing currency among 150 top currencies. So that I fact-checked him.
No, you haven't fact-checked.
Now,
you are reading a report, and I am reading a report for African Development Bank.
And I'm saying that this is from Bloomberg. Bloomberg is saying that Ghana's CD ranked 4th worst performing currency. So I fact-checked him.
Secondly, which month?
He talked about. I'm talking about the 15th of June.
And
no, we have to go.
Yeah, he talked about debt to GDP ratio. You are saying 84%. Your minister in the media budget review was telling Ghanaians that it's 70%. But let me tell you something. They haven't added the debt owned by SOEs. If you look at the energy sector alone, the SOEs, 8 SOEs in the energy sector owe $2.4 billion. So when you add all these SOE debts, it's over 100%. Then let me go to, look, KMG.
Wrapping up for me, I'm told our time is
yes,
up. Unfortunately, we have to.
Adele talks about managing. Please. Let me. Why are you interjecting?
Our time is up.
Let me. But you spoke for long. I kept quiet. So please, I beg. Let me learn. Under the presidency of John Dramani Mahama, right?
Yeah.
We had a decline of our GDP per capita by 12% since 2012 to 2016. Under their government, John Dramani Mahama's government, right, we had historic double digits record in fiscal deficit. 3 consecutive years. In 2012, it was 12.2%. In 2013, it was 11.7%. And in 2014, it was 11.9%. So clearly, if you are telling us that you enhance fiscal discipline, you have failed. That is what we are telling them. You have failed. You haven't shown that leadership. So how can we trust you? Then now they talk about SME financing. Under your regime, the micro SMEs, the lenders to SMEs, all collapse. These small savings and loans companies collapse under your regime. And we are saying that, KMG, listen on. We have pragmatic policy solutions to re-stabilize the macroeconomy and then the microeconomy. We are saying that we are not going to exceed public expenditure more than 10% of GDP. We are going to maintain the cap on our budget deficit by 5% of GDP. And of course, the issue with inflation. Inflation...
That's the last one for me. We're done.
Inflation is an issue in this country.
we have a short-term policy solution and then a long-term policy.
Okay.
The long-term. Kevin,
I'm not time.
10 seconds.
So Kevin, I was quiet.
And
so I think the time management next time we need to tackle.
Yeah, it would affect.
10 seconds.
Everybody has spoken.
Anyway,
no.
32 years. 32 years of the duopoly of the NPP.
You
can't give him. You can't give him that 10 seconds.
You owe me 20. 10 seconds. 5 seconds.
I'll put
5 seconds. 5 seconds.
No.
But 10 seconds.
There's no 5 seconds.
You're still wasting.
No, he lied about something. Okay, KMG.
We're done.
We'll meet again next week.
Next week we're going to be back again. Thank you so much, Dr. Ramsey Nusa. Thank you so much.
We'll meet next week.
Thank you so much, Neil, for coming through. Next week we'll be here again.
Yeah, we'll meet next week. We'll meet, inshallah. Thank him for
here on this segment. Many thanks to Franco Trading Enterprise for making it possible. We still have some more coming up here on the show. We've got Tranks, we've got big.
You have nothing against.
And we're doing quick cash again.
We are clean as a whistle.
So continue to play. It's star 281 and option is 7, which is Joy Prime, and you're good to go. We'll be announcing some of the winners
focus on them,
today.
not us.
So keep playing, and we'll see you. We'll take a quick breather. When we come back, Prime Morning continues. Do stay.
You know where he got.
Newsflash was brought to you by Franco Trading Enterprise. Still, fun papa fee.